You got to do that up against the mic. And welcome, guys, to the Off the Mat podcast with Brian Harris.
And Keith McMillan.
And our guest today, actually our first guest, Mr. Matt Waters.
How's it going?
What's going on,
How's it
man?
going with you, Matt?
Good. I'm happy
Welcome.
to be here.
Are you?
Yeah, this is exciting.
Matt, just so you guys know, behind the scenes, Matt's a good friend of ours, but he's been giving us shit about the Off the Mat podcast the whole time. He's in full support, but he's just been giving us little snippets here and here.
It's really fun for me to watch your production value go up. I just, I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun experiment.
We're we're coming together. We're still a hot fucking mess, though.
Yeah, we are. We both have a lot of things to learn, and Matt doesn't appreciate that I put things out
6 months late.
6 months later. So you guys are seeing this in 2019. Welcome.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're both dedicating a little bit more time towards the podcast, so that way we can kind of get things in order. So good things to come.
The good thing about podcasts, though, in my opinion, I listen to a lot of podcasts, is whenever they are organic and like it's just two people talking. If something, Keith drinking his water, like when that's actually going on and like you feel like you're there, you want your listeners to feel like you feel like you're a part of it.
Yeah.
Right.
You want whoever's sitting there watching that camera to feel like they're in the room as well, and that's a huge part of it. But you guys are killing it.
I think that was kind of our goal whenever we started too. Is that's how we wanted it to be. Like, I didn't want to come in with like a set chalkboard of like, we're going to talk about X, Y, Z today. Like I always come in with things in mind to talk about, but it's at the end of the day, it's just Keith and I bullshitting about stuff that we would normally talk about in passing or at the gym or whatever the case may be. It's stuff that we bullshit about anyways.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes I think I get a little too personal because I'm still like at my job at the Kansas City Improv, so I have to be cautious in what stories I tell. But I have to say a big thank you to you two, Brian, for pushing me to continue to do this, because I probably would have stopped after like 4 episodes, and then Matt allowing us to use the gym, and Zach for letting us use the gym and record. So
I'm glad to have you guys here. You guys have both been a huge help to the gym, inside and out. So
we're fucking savages. That's
good stuff. Now that we're all in the fields with one another, go get a box of chocolates,
We'll hug it
fucking
out.
watch a romantic comedy. But no, you wanted to talk about the fights, right? You got a fight card pulled up?
Yeah. Well, first I want to get a little bit into Matt's. Because like I said, we have a couple of people that listen.
Oh yeah,
that don't,
that's true.
not
I
from
forget
the
that
gym.
we have people. We have viewers.
So
we got
Matt,
followers.
So where are you from?
I'm from Orick, Missouri, a little small town that probably, even if you live around here, you have no idea where it's at.
Yeah.
800 people is where I grew up, and then that's
How many in
I
your
live in a
graduating
small-
class?
my graduating class was 42, which was like super large for
Holy
Orick High
shit.
School.
That's a big class.
That was a big
42.
class.
What?
Population 800 was the
So
town.
were you guys just like you guys all had the same schedule or something? How was that? Like the
had-
entire senior class, like they all went to.
Well, we had
first?
we had like shared classes too. So like some of the as a sophomore, you could be in with the seniors and stuff
Gotcha.
too.
Yeah,
So,
I forgot that was a real thing too.
yeah.
So you went to college and then
I did 2 years at Mizzou and then went to Warrensburg. That sounded like I was in prison, but no. I went to Mizzou for 2 years and then I transferred to UCM in Warrensburg, and that's where I graduated from. So I was closer to the gym at the time, which is what I liked most about it.
right.
Is Lee Summit was right down 50 Highway, 20 minutes, and I could be at the gym.
And you are. When did you fight, and how long did you fight for?
I took my first fight pretty much as soon as I turned 18, right after I graduated high school. And the great thing about that was all my high school friends, it was easy to sell tickets for that fight because everybody from high school wanted to buy tickets.
Yeah.
And you're from a small town, so everybody knows what's happening. But
Sure.
took the first one right after I got out of high school, went to college the next summer, came back and fought again, and then went back to school, came back over winter break, and fought over winter break. And that was, I don't know what, that was RFA a long time ago was my last one. So that was 5 years ago or something like that.
What
So
what did
5,
your
6 years
parents
ago.
think about it whenever you started fighting?
My dad never was like super one way or the other about
Yeah.
it. My mom was super nervous about it. I think she still prefers that like I don't fight, but I think after the first one it helped me a lot. I had a pretty intense first fight, and the guy was pretty good, and it ended up I won a split decision, but I had to go through a lot to in the fight. So
Yeah.
even if I wouldn't have won, I think they would have still been supportive in everything, just because they saw, like, I was going to the gym there. they would drop me off, or before I could drive, they would drop me off, or I would just drive by myself, and I was up there, so they never saw a ton of the training I was doing, you know. So to actually, that's one of the things I talk about a lot, is I feel like a lot of people expected me to get beat up my first fight. You know? And it was kind of the, like,
is that why you think you sold tickets? Because people were like, "Oh man, it's gonna."
I don't know if that was it or what, but like,
just because people knew you, they were like, "I want to see this for sure."
Yeah.
Because fighting like even a popular thing where you grew up? Like, how many people out of your high school ended up going into martial arts? Like I went to high school with Demetrius Wilson, for example. You know, so there's like a few people that I went to high school.
I don't know anybody else from work that does MMA, but that's the thing, is I felt like most people expect me to get beat up, so anything that I did in the fight was going to be good, or impressive. So my parents got to see me fight, got to see me go through some a rough patch, do really well, and then, like, you know, it was a cool roller coaster of emotions during the fight. So afterwards, they're like, "Oh, well, what he's been doing is, you know, they could see that I've been training, see it's something that I really was dedicated and passionate about." So they were supportive from then on out.
Right. I think that's pretty awesome. I just want to say real quick to people that are watching the video, you saw me on my phone. I was pulling up the fight card. I was not ignoring Matt. It looked. I thought about how rude it looks as he's, you know, opening up. Talking about his past. I'm just on my phone. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So
I didn't even notice you were on your phone. Honestly,
I was deep in it.
I did notice you hit your head on my gym bag.
Yeah, like, I'm about to move this.
We forgot to take that
throw
down.
it across the room.
Don't throw it across the room.
No.
I got my goggles on there. Please don't. Yeah. Nice and gentle. I appreciate you. Okay, so anyways, 18, graduate college. Where did life take you from there? Because how old are you? What, 25, 26?
20,
Yeah,
26.
you're like still young.
26.
How come you're not fighting anymore? Like, what stopped? Because normally that's such a great age, because you're nice and ripe, if I can use that terminology. And then, like, you would think, especially with your circle or your surroundings, you know, with Zach, James, Tim, you know, you have a lot of talent, John.
Yeah. So I feel that you have to dedicate, if you're going to fight, you need to be able to dedicate a huge portion of your life to that. Right. And that's something we can talk about with some of the fights that we saw. But there's no way I mentally could have handled the fight going in there just, oh, let's take a fight next week, you know, and not train. Like, one thing I'm proud of from my time, whether I had won or lost any of my fights, is I know I put in a professional level training camp, because most of my fights, James either fought the next night or the same night for two of them. So I was kind of in his training camp with him for those, and so I'm happy with what I did, but I feel like you have to be able to dedicate your time to that. And right now, I'm just in a portion of my life where I'm more interested in the business side of things, and it's training for a fight isn't fun. Fighting is fun and training is fun, but training for a fight is not fun.
I agree with that 1,000%.
So yeah, it's more fun for me to watch everybody else do it now and experience the journey, but not have to go through it all.
You still train.
Yeah, but I train for fun.
Yeah.
I don't have, like, whenever I was fighting and putting in the professional level training camp, it's training twice a day, every single day, swimming in the mornings, Tuesdays and Thursdays doing strength and conditioning. Like, it's a whole different deal.
Just so you know, I never did these in any of my fight camps. That's extreme.
And I'm a little bit of a mental head case.
That's
so
that sounds like you're preparing for a UFC fight.
Yeah,
that's how I wanted it to be, you know, and that's why I could walk away now and be happy with what I did.
Yeah,
because, like I said, when James,
for those fights, you gave it your all.
Well, and my first one, I had James and Eric Marriott and Joe Wooster were in my corner, but I was training with super high level guys all the time, so I felt really good about that fight. My second fight, James fought the night after me, so he wasn't able to be there, but we were going to strength conditioning on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I was swimming in the mornings and then training twice a day, so I felt good about that training camp. Same thing with my third fight. James fought the same night is when he fought Toby Amata, so his last fight before he got into the UFC. He fought the same night, and same thing. I got to kind of be a part of that training camp and see what that elite level's like. And, you know, I don't have aspirations to go to the UFC.
Sure.
And I know, like, for me to mentally be able to handle a fight, I have to do those things, or I'm going to get in the cage and be terrified, and not be able to perform. So I think you should be able to, whenever you're standing in the cage, you should know for a fact that you did everything that you possibly could, and that there's no way the guy standing across from you has trained as hard as you have, worked with the level of people you have, and done everything that you've done for it.
Right.
So
I agree with that 1,000%, especially with my fights too. I mean, I feel like in the first 2 fights, one, I don't agree with the decisions, but I also wasn't like mentally there like I was the last 2 fights. The last 2 fights, I literally told my family right before I was like going to the venue. They were like, all right, how you feeling? I was like, fucking good. I'm going to go through them like butter. And I walked out of the house. Last thing I said to them.
Right.
Like I was just so confident. I was like, it's done already. It's already decided, And then that's whenever I had those pop-off wins, But before that, it was decisions because I had doubts. Like, I don't know. This guy's been training. Is he bigger than me? I don't know. I haven't seen him in person. That sort of
see,
stuff.
I kind of had like a weird thing about it. Not that I expected to get my ass kicked, but like I didn't ever go in there thinking like I was gonna just smash the guy. That was never my mindset. Was like, no matter what I do, it's gonna be good because everybody expects me to get my ass kicked. It's the way I felt about it. I know that the people I train with, that wasn't the case. They didn't expect that. But for me, my thought process was, this guy's gonna kick my ass. I have to stop it. And like they're I don't know.
Do you like? Because, and I'm gonna get to it in the sense of like, you do commentary now for the KCFA fights. There's no part of you when you're watching these fights where you're like, well, fuck, I should have been here tonight.
I mean, every once in a while, I would love to just experience the fight again, because main reason is there's a lot of people that are in my life now that didn't get to see me fight.
Right.
Because it has been 6 years. Like, my wife never got to see me fight live. So I would like to do it again because of that. But, again, that's a whole level of dedication that I'm not willing to put in for that, if that makes sense. So I'm not willing to. I have enough other stuff I'm thinking about right now that I don't want to deal with. Oh, let's eat healthy. Let's let's train twice a day. Let's do all the things that I need to do. And
fight camp's intense. You do have to think about like everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
Like as far as like evaluating every single day, like getting the maximum amount out of your fight camp as you can. Whether it's nutrition or training or sometimes rest.
Well, when I was fighting, I was in college, and like I said, it was either on summer break or winter break when I had nothing else going on. So I could literally, for those however many weeks I had notice, my whole life was dedicated to just that. Wake up, it's dedicated to that. Come home, dedicated to that. So that's why it would feel weird for me to take a fight now, because I don't think I would be able to dedicate the way that I would want to it. So it would be fun, but I'm not ready to do that right now.
Well, nice. No, I mean, I wouldn't push someone to go towards that route. They don't want to go that route, and I think you got a peace of mind about it. You're not talking like, that was my little bait for you to see if you would be like, yeah, I want to, get back in the cage and knock it out. I mean, obviously you're at peace, and I mean, you have a wonderful life. From the outside looking in, you just got married, beautiful wife. You guys are great. Did you move? Did you get the house already?
We have a house in Green Valley that we got.
Right. So you guys got. I mean, life is going well. Why ruin that with head trauma?
Well, that's the thing too. Is like I've told both you guys probably this before, but I sparred with Tim Elliott. This was like one of the big transition points for me. Is I sparred with Tim Elliott, and he didn't hit me hard, but he hit me probably 30 million times in one round. And we were small MMA gloves, and he was just touching my head, and I had a headache for 2 weeks afterwards. Right. And that's when I had to be like, okay, do you really like want to, go through all this? Like, what am I going to do it for? And I like I said, I never thought I would be in the UFC. So to go through that, to go through all the dedication to training, it wasn't not worth it.
I hear you. So, heading into it, about 2 weeks ago now, a week ago, you did the KCFA fights.
By the time this airs, it's a couple months ago.
They were like in 2019, but You and Shark Bait got to do the commentary this time. I'm a little jealous. I normally do it with Matt, but
Hashtag jelly.
you know, I'm coming for you, Shark Bait. Yeah, right. But you know, I think that's awesome. What was your favorite fight of the night? Because we had 4 fighters from the gym. We had Mike Murray, Duran. We had Nick Grass, and then we had
LeBlanc,
Alex LeBlanc doing kickboxing. So
yeah. So all 3 of our guys, obviously, that's definitely those were 3 of my favorites of the night. That's going to be the case for sure. LeBlanc, it was so cool to see him come back after what happened to him in the last time and get the W. In such a dominant way.
Yeah,
too.
his striking was sensational.
Yeah, that kid got bullied out there.
Yeah, and we know how good that guy is in the gym. Yeah. So to see him actually go out there and perform like he does in the gym was great. Nick, I want nothing but the best for that guy. So every time I see him perform and win, I always love that guy. Love seeing him get the win. So that's one of the highest points of excitement for me, was seeing him get the W.
Yeah. I think with Nick is like a prototype, like custom UFC character that when you play a video game,
dude,
he's like what you would think of, like tatted up, just fucking looks like he's ruthless.
Yeah. I was terrified of Nick whenever he first came to the gym, and then like the second day he was in there, like I had an actual conversation with him, and Nick is like the sweetest fucking guy in the world. Like that dude is so nice, nice. As long as you're not a dickhead. If you're a dickhead, he'll tell you. You know what I mean? But like to us at least, you know, average guys, like he's just cool as can be.
Yeah, he's intense, but he's like a good intense, and I mean the way he is with his kids, you kind of like, oh shit, like you're a really good person, you know. And I don't know his past.
He's super humble.
I plan on having him on here, but
he would be a fantastic.
Yeah,
he's
for sure.
He's on our list for sure.
So whenever
he's on our list.
If you guys don't know, if you've never been to Glory Northland, you come in and look at this place. I mean, I'm a part owner of it, but you'll think it's pretty impressive. Like the woodwork that was done, and all of that was Nick.
Yeah.
Like Nick did everything, and I got to learn a lot of, whenever we were doing the build out, it was just me and him here, so I got to hear a bit of his story. And so just, you know, whenever you know what all he's been through in life, I root for that guy and everything. So yeah.
I think you know, watching, obviously I watched the fights from work, and I got to see all of our fighters fight, and you know, Glory, Lee Summit, and Northland. But watching Mike Murray from the moment he was like, I want to take a fight.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes you're like, hey man, do you really want to take a fight, or are you just a psycho? Do you think you can get in there and brawl?
Yeah.
But watching Mike Murray go in there and just, you know, his dominant win was very inspiring, and I was so happy. Couldn't be happier for a guy like that, because all 3 of those, actually all 4 that fought, you know, I know 3 of our guys got the victory. You know, they're all such nice guys. You know what I mean? And they're not trying to play the part. They are the part when they get in that cage.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I feel like people sign up for the MMA gyms and all that, and they think they have to act a certain way, and they like try to mimic a character or, you know, an already successful fighter, and it's like, no, just be yourself. And I think our fighters are genuinely unique and original, and it's awesome. I couldn't ask for anything. I've never been in an environment like this, especially at Glory North, where you see people start from amateurs to professionals and just all like winners.
Yeah. Watching the growth of people is pretty dope. Like Duran McKaiser now, like whenever I started, like he wasn't pro, he was still working his way up at an amateur level, and like seeing him now as a pro, I mean, granted he's had some injuries lately and he's recovering. Got a fight coming up in February, KCFA. But he watching his growth over the last like 4 years or so has been really incredible. Because like whenever him and I first started, he was like whenever I first started at Glory, he was already here. He was one of my main sparring partners. And if him and I sparred now, I guarantee he would wreck me, like 1,000%, just because he's been putting the dedication towards his fighting career, and I have not as much as he has. You know, I've still trained, but not nearly to the level he is. But yeah, I agree with that for sure. Like the growth of people here is awesome.
Yeah, the thing about Mike's fight too is, I think if we watch his opponent over the next few years, that guy was good. Like,
Yeah.
For if just watching that guy shadow box and warm up, I was like, oh, Mike's gonna be in for a long night. Like this could be a tough fight.
Sure.
And then he did everything perfectly. As soon as he got a hold of that guy, he didn't let go of him, got him to the ground, and then just did what he does best from there. But it was so cool for me to see that he just made that mental switch perfectly, and like I said, just stayed stuck to that guy, and he wasn't letting go as soon as he got a hold of it either. He was in there, and that guy was definitely tough that he was fighting. I think we're gonna see big things from him going forward, but that'll be a big win for Mike once that guy gets some more names under his belt for sure. So
yeah, I think this will be the premier gym in the next couple of years with the way that our talent is rising here, and the fighters that are putting in work, they're dedicated. And I think Lee Summit has that established because there's so many professional fighters. And I think Northland kind of, not a lot of fighters live around here, but the fighters we have now, and with, especially when Brian comes back and Elijah can get in shape, 1 year, we'll have that gym. We'll have that premier gym. So I'm excited to see where they're all heading, and can ask for anything more. There were some other fights on that damn card, and I'll say this, and I will. These matchups for amateur level fighting is hilarious sometimes. Sometimes I feel personally, it's like you have a fighter that's been training, and this is no disrespect to anyone that stepped in the cage, because stepping in that cage is a hard step. I don't know that feeling yet, but I know it can't be the easiest thing just stepping in the cage.
We need to make a distinction real quick before you continue. There's one thing to step in the cage, though, and there's another thing to train, prepare, and then step in the cage. Yeah. I always say I respect everybody that steps in the cage, but I mean, if you just come in, you've never trained a day in your life, and you just go step in the cage, like, I don't have to, like, I don't
Anybody
respect
can
you.
sign
like,
a sheet of paper and roll up in there.
Yeah, just because you're willing to get beat up doesn't mean anything to me. Like, I don't. So,
it's just it's crazy to see. Like, was it Devontae?
Yeah.
His fight. He clearly outclassed that guy, but I mean, that kid didn't belong in the.
And he was up like 2 weight classes, wasn't he? That fight was like at 170 or something, wasn't it?
I don't know for sure. I know that guy took the fight on short notice against Devontae, though.
I know it wasn't his weight class for sure. He was fighting up weight classes.
Well, if you look at Devontae, you know why people don't want to fight that guy.
Like, he's an action figure, dude. He is an action figure.
He was supposed to be on the last KCFA, and the guy pulled out. And then, Joe Wooster, matchmaker for KCFA, is one of the best at like finding people on short notice, and he finally got somebody in there for Devontae this time, and so.
I mean, it's not easy. I'm sure it's not an easy job. I have no idea what it's like matchmaking. So, but I mean, it's crazy sometimes when I see it, because there's always like not because the whole card's pretty stacked with competitive fighters, but there's always one that slips in there where you're like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. The last KCFA, I could be wrong about this. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure the guy showed up to weigh-ins. Yeah. Took the picture with Devontae. Took one look at him and then called the next day. He's like, I'm not fighting that guy. Like, it's not happening. Yeah. And matchmaking at amateur level is a nightmare. But,
I imagine.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. There's a lot of times, especially with a guy like him who's early in his career, matching that guy up against anybody's difficult, because I don't know if he's 4-0 now, like, you read 4-0, you can't put him up against a guy that's had 20 fights. Right. Yeah. So it's hard to find up-and-coming amateurs, too, I guess, or, like, that are highly touted prospects, I guess.
Right. Well, awesome.
I know what you're talking about, though, some of those
fights.
I mean... Let's address the elephant in the room. I'm not going to name names, but there's certain fighters out there, and we all have names popping up in our head right now.
Right.
Certain fighters out there that are literally taking fights every single fucking week and just, like, taking L's like no other.
Well, I mean, just I forgot the guy's name. The guy that Zach had the corner last KCFA, not this past one, but the one before that. The guy was like, "Hey, if I get in a submission, I don't know if I should be saying this, but
that was just like, some random dude."
Yeah, but he was like, "I'm gonna tap early." He's like, "Because I have a fight in like 20 days, so I need to make sure I can make that fight."
Yeah,
so you're gonna quit.
Yeah, so it's like you're already like going in the mindset.
Like what are you talking about, dude? Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me at all. I understand that. But you see that all the time.
Right.
It's such a circus. I love watching it. I love it. I don't know why, but it tickles me inside every time. I'm just like, oh, got another fight. They just fought 3 days ago and lost.
Yeah.
But no, but yeah. So I'll leave it. Anything else to add about the KCFA? Actually, the KCFA program is wonderful, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, as far as local shows go and like smaller amateur pro shows, like the good thing about KCFA is you're gonna have the production's gonna be good. 99% of the time, if you have a fight, like I said, he's great at making sure you have an opponent.
Yeah, he makes a lot of
he
competitive
found
matchups.
My second opponent, I kind of fell into this category because my second fight, the guy's house burnt down the day of weigh-ins.
Oh wow!
And so Joe found me a guy, ended up being Julian Marquez's friend, who had never taken a fight before. He was a soccer player, but Joe was able to get me a fight. And whenever you're somebody that sells a lot of tickets, you don't want to go right up to the day of and then tell everybody, hey, I'm not fighting now.
Yeah.
And so the good thing about KCFA is you're going to get a good show. If you're being an asset to the show, they're going to make sure you're on it, make sure you're taken care of, make sure you're doing everything right. And it's in my opinion, the most elite amateur level or level show. What you're getting when you go there. You're not going to get
Every time I fight KCFA, I always thank Joe afterwards.
Yeah.
Win or lose, just got to thank Guy. Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Joe's an amazing person.
Thanks for hooking me up. Wanted to get a fight in.
Yeah. No, Joe let me work the event, so as far as I know, Joe, you're a great guy.
Yeah, Joe's one of the guys that's been around for ever.
Yeah.
Since I started, he was.
Are we shouting out Joe Wooster right now? Is that happening? Shout out Joe Wooster.
Yeah.
Hook us up with KCFA tickets? No.
Yeah.
But no, the thing about Joe is he's the most.
Just say it. Say it. You were thinking something. You started smiling.
I'm lucky. I've never been on Joe's bad side. But Joe's like one of the nicest, most amazing human beings ever. But if you get on his bad side, if you pull out of a fight because you looked at Devontae, I can't imagine the text that he sent to that guy that pulled out. Like,
oh yeah,
he'll go after people and he'll defend his people 100%. One of the most loyal.
I love it when he goes the fuck off on Facebook. Because he'll do that every now and again where he'll just pop off with like a status like, let me tell you about this motherfucker here.
No.
And I'm just like, yes, tell me about it, Joe. Tell me more.
Yeah, and a lot of times that is guys who have agreed to a fight. And
9 times out of 10, that's what it is.
And, I won't kiss too much ass here, but yeah, he protects his people 100% and makes sure they're taken care of. The computer.
Oh.
Just like, no. Like, touch the touchpad. The screensaver came on. Wonderful. All right. Well, we're heading in. We got a couple.
We're good. We got 15 minutes.
We got 15 minutes. So I want to get.
And if anything, we can. I mean, as long as I got 5 minutes, I can make it to the barber in time. It's right there at Kate's Kitchen, dude.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
It'll be all right.
I don't want you to.
I'm having a good time. Let's go. Don't ruin this for me.
This.
We don't need to time it like that. I'll let you know when I'm done.
This weekend, our head coach, Zak Cummings, will be slugging it out with Trevor Smith on the Milwaukee fight card. I don't know why I handed it up. All right, this weekend, Zak Cummings will be fighting up in a brawl.
He's slugging it out.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's gonna be a real slobber knocker.
It's gonna be fist thrown. Ooh, spit on my mic. All right, guys. So I don't know much about Trevor Smith. This hopefully should be a great matchup and an easy knockout for Zak, because I'm sick and tired of Zak fighting on this damn undercard
prelim bullshit.
Yeah, like get him off Fight Pass. I'm done with that.
Yeah. I'm excited that it's at 185 this time too, so he doesn't have to stress as much about the weight cut. Can just get in there and wreck this guy and come home.
Holy man, Zak's weight cuts before. I've been privileged for his past like 3 or 4 fights to be around him.
Yeah.
But man, when he's cutting weight, he is one angry SOB.
Yeah. Zak, I love you, but you're a fucking dick when you're cutting weight.
Crap.
This weight cut, though, he wasn't as much. Like, there was a couple times he was irritating. I was like, all right, let me chill out. But when he was cutting to 170, it was like, for a solid, like, 3 weeks, I would say, towards the end, you're just like, fuck. Yeah. Man, I'm sorry. I don't know what I did to you, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's going to be... I like him going up in weight. Hopefully that power carries over.
Yeah.
Because, he was sleeping guys at, his previous weight class, but hopefully this weight class, because we saw success with James in his last... Was it 2 fights or just his last fight? He went up.
Was it?
So tough on him.
They're the
you know,
worst,
whenever
yeah.
he was going 170, there's some horror stories from that stuff, and to go through that mentally, even not just physically, because physically is a whole different ballgame, but mentally to go through that the day before you have to step in the cage against somebody, just knowing that that's not going to be near as rough on him this time will, I think, bring a whole new mental rage with him to the cage. So
his weight cut was unreal, man. Like watching him cut weight, and especially like you were saying those last few days, like it gets rough. Like I sit there and watch it, and I was like, nope, you won't catch me cutting that much. That's not happening.
No, that's crazy.
The last time this guy has had a holy crap, this guy hasn't had a finish in the past 4 or 5 years.
Did he fight Brian Camozzi? Is that right? Was that one of his?
He beat Dan Miller, and he beat Chris Camozzi. Yeah, he took Chris Camozzi to decision.
Yeah.
Really? When was that?
That was 2017.
Oh wow!
So last year he took Chris Camozzi. So
wow.
Yeah, if I remember right, he just kind of wrestled on him the whole fight for the most part.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. I mean, that fight card though should be awesome. I mean, I can't say enough about, you know, I'm excited for the main event, but who isn't?
Oh, we have a bet.
That's right.
We made a bet yesterday, and we're putting it on camera so that way you can't fuck me over.
I have Raging Al beating Kevin Lee,
and I have Kevin Lee beating Raging Al.
Yeah.
For longboards. What you think, Matt? What's your 2 cents?
Iaquinta is gonna win for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? How?
Because he's better.
Because he's better.
And he beat him already.
Fuck that.
I think
fuck that.
Raging Al is one of the most underrated guys. Like I people were impressed by the Khabib fight, but that guy, his wrestling is fantastic. His jiu-jitsu is fantastic. His striking is getting better all the time, and we've seen him one punch knock out people. So, he's got the whole deal. Kevin Lee's there too. Kevin Lee keeps getting better and growing, but I just think Raging Al's been too good for too long.
New Jersey accent. I want to fucking choke the shit out of him every time he talks. It's terrible.
You know, man. See, I was born in New York, so I always have that little love for New Yorkers.
It's too
and
thick.
the East
It's
Coast.
too much. Like I like the accents, but his is just so fucking extra.
Well, he sounds like an asshole with it too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like he's like. I always imagine him being like a dick cop or wrestling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think everything he says though is like, ever since Connor's been in the UFC, there's a lot of like fake people like with their aggressiveness. The thing about Al is he really doesn't care. I don't think he's got his real estate thing going on. He doesn't care what else, you know, whether he has a fight or not. Like he wants to fight, but I legit think he just doesn't. He doesn't care. That's why he took the fight on with Khabib on a day's notice. Like, I don't know. That's why I like him, is because he's real.
Who else we got on that card?
On the prelims on FS1, one of my favorite fighters is fighting, and I didn't realize that. Bobby Green.
Stop.
Really?
I will leave this podcast right now if you tell me Bobby Green's one of your favorite fighters.
Why is Bobby Green one of your favorites?
Oh my!
I like the animation
because he's a cheater.
Oh, I mean,
he's a cheater. What do you mean he's
got kicked in the nuts? He got kicked in the nuts.
Stop it.
Wait, hold on. I didn't see this fight or hear about it.
James and Bobby Green.
James and Bobby Green.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay. I do know what we're talking about now.
Let's take the James fight out of the whole equation now. Let's take that out of the whole equation. Look back at his Affliction fight against was it Dan Lozon? He did the same thing in that. He's a cheater. He's a cheater. And then who did he fight? He quit against somebody too. You could have said anybody, but Bobby Green. Come on.
I like animated fighters, and I think he's very animated. I mean, he's not like in my top 10.
Are you okay? How disappointed are you over this?
Keith is dead to me.
He's not in my top 10. I'm not like, this is one of the greatest UFC fighters ever. I like the animation. The more
he's just your favorite.
I like that Diaz style talking, showboating inside the cage.
Do you ever get on like the UFC game and like just pick the fighters you don't like and
then
pick somebody you do and then just beat the hell out of them?
Bobby Green?
I do that with Bobby Green all the time.
Really?
Is he on the game?
Huh? Maybe not. I'm pretty sure
he makes a creative custom.
Pretty sure he was on my list though.
You created him.
You made
him.
I was playing the other day and I was like,
his hairline looks like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some black dude with tats, and you're like, whoop his ass.
Fuck this guy. He looks like Bobby
He
Green.
looks like him.
Oh, who else is on that card?
We have Charles Olivier
Yeah.
versus Jim Miller.
That's a rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that fight.
Sergio Pettis is fighting.
Who's he fighting?
Rob Font.
Nope. Idea who that
Yeah.
is.
Heavy hitter.
Heavy hitter?
Rob Font, yeah.
Wait, this should be an Edson Barboza versus Dan Hooker.
That's a good
Ooh,
fight.
I
That's
like
a really
that.
fun fight.
I like
I
that.
think Barbosa gets that, though.
I mean, this fight card is awesome. I wish, obviously, Zach was a little higher, because you want finishers on your cards. You want someone that's trying to win and finish this fight decisively, and I think Zach has proved time and time again that he's a finisher.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say that about all of them, but I mean,
Yeah.
just tired of it. But
It is what it is, man.
yeah,
But no, it is a good fight card. I'm excited to see it and excited to see Zach fight. I know how hard he's been working and going out to Denver and all that good stuff.
Did you guys see him hitting pads yesterday?
Yeah,
Man.
that what was it? James posted it or something?
Yeah, I think Joe may have posted originally, but yeah.
Looks clean.
Does it?
Clean. Did you not
Fast,
see it?
too,
Let me
like,
pull it up. I'm
yes.
pulling it up right now.
He looked
It was
fast,
really good.
sharp.
I saw that. What you call it? Congratulations to the nutritionist.
Yeah, Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler got promoted.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like everyone's getting promoted these days.
I don't know this full story, but I'm pretty sure Tyler was a 5-stripe blue belt.
Yeah, he said
his
like
coach
10
gave
years.
Yeah. Well, like I think whoever he was originally belted under went to give him another stripe, and his old one had fallen off or something. So like he got promoted, and they gave him a stripe, and he's like, I already had 4. Like,
Here you go. Hold on.
I'm gonna have to see if I can edit this in or something. Holy shit. Holy what? That's how Zach really fights?
Hold up. Let me go back again.
Yo, what has he been doing? What have we been doing when we spar? Because that's phenomenal. God.
dangerous.
Dangerous. I'm excited for it.
If
man.
Zach hit me with 2 of those punches, I'd call the cops.
I called the cops. Be like, hey, he's cheating. He's hitting me too hard.
After I woke up, whoa, that was precision.
Yeah, they look good. I saw that and I got goosebumps. So I was like, huh. Ready for this dude to get hit. I like it.
How does Zach finish the fight?
You go first.
Why do I have to go
Go
first? Oy. Tough. I think he's gonna knock him out uppercut
Think he'll knock
while
him
he's
out?
going for a takedown. Yeah, I think dude's just gonna try and wrestle fuck him.
Yeah.
Zach's not gonna have that at all. And by the second or third round, he'll have some timing down uppercut. Just like he always pops people with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I'll just agree with Brian. I think he will knock him out. I don't know enough about Trevor Smith to make an accurate prediction. I don't feel like, but if he's gonna try to wrestle Zach, eventually he's gonna get frustrated. Zach's gonna put the pressure on him, like you saw in that video, and knock him out, finish him with strikes.
Nice.
Keith,
Submission.
Interesting. Why?
I think second. I see the guy taking him down and kind of first round. I think Zach kind of feels him out, and then I think second or third round, probably second round. I think Zach just catches him, puts him to sleep. I think it's just seems like Zach. Honestly, and here's me being this is me kind of being a little comical and serious. Zach only finishes white guys with submissions. I've said it before. I hate to make it racial. Every episode, I'm gonna try to make a little race, but I mean, I'm not. I love Zach. And Zach's such a great guy. But if you notice, Zach always finishes white guys with submissions, and then everybody else he knocks out.
Everybody else, you mean not the white guys?
Not the white guys, the minority.
Wait, is that like a true fact? Like if I look up his record, it'll...
look it up. I've even said this to Zach's face.
is this a conspiracy theory?
No, it's
I don't
not.
know.
I will look up Zach's last.
So you think
fights.
the trend's gonna continue?
Yeah, I think Zach.
Hey, Zach just likes choking out white boys.
I'm telling you. Let's see. All right, he didn't make that fight. Submission, Nathan Coy.
Yeah.
Submission, Alexander Yelkoviv.
That's a white name for sure.
All right, that's Russian. Knockout, Dominic Steele.
Yep.
Submission. Wait, no. That's the decision. Decision. Submission, Ben Alloway.
Oh, yeah.
No. All I'm saying. All I'm saying.
Did he submit a Brazilian guy?
Yeah. When his first UFC fight, he got a Darce.
It only goes back to 2013. Zak's been fighting forever.
Yeah, he probably did. I know he got a Darce, but I didn't know the guy was Brazilian.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he was a black belt.
Black belt?
I think he was a black belt.
Shout out Dan.
Not the black
Miss you,
belt.
Dan.
Yes.
Yeah, Danilo.
Wow.
Danilo, put the pressure.
Pressure.
You put the pressure.
All right, well.
Now that we're just making fun of Brazilian accents.
He's making fun.
You guys did.
I wish I had a Brazilian accent.
Why?
I don't know.
You can just be like, what's his name? Renato?
Yeah.
And just put on a front all the time.
Every once in a while, I'll be like showing a move, and I'll say like Kimura, and it'll come out wrong, and I'll like Kimura, and I'll be like, I just sounded real Brazilian there. It feels a little more authentic that way, you know.
He tightens his belt a little bit. Paudio sensei.
Dude, I went and I bought a jiu-jitsu book the other day.
Yeah?
Jiu-Jitsu University.
You had mentioned that to us the other day.
I'm taking this a little bit more serious now. 2019 is my year, and I really want to.
Who's the book by?
Salu Ribeiro. I don't know. It had like quotes from like
I know Ribeiro. I don't
Ola
know
Gracie and stuff on it, so it looked legit. I could have fucking bought someone's book that they made off the street, but I'm hoping it really helps me with some of my fundamentals and stuff that I can drill with people, you know, outside of class, and kind of step up, because I'm excited to start my new journey in this life of jiu-jitsu, and I really want to dedicate my time to making myself a better grappler.
Yeah.
So I've been watching everyone else on their journey and do well and grow, and it's inspiring. And that's all I have to say about that. You guys, that's all I have to say about that. I'm excited to start my next journey, and I hope I can showcase my skills and against other people in the gym, and hopefully take a couple of tournaments. And
I was about to ask, do you plan on competing?
I could say yes, but I mean, I just don't have that time, and that transition from me getting off of work at 4 o'clock, 4:30 a.m. Friday night to waking up to make weight and roll.
That's true.
It's hard for me.
Yeah.
So, but I will make the time, and hopefully I can showcase my skills, because I'm eager. I'm eager for this new challenge.
Yeah. Matt, when's your next jiu-jitsu tournament? Last jiu-jitsu tournament you did,
April.
you were a 4-stripe white belt, and you and I were in the same division.
This is true. It was like a 16-man bracket. No, it was like
there was a bunch of
bracket.
people on our bracket.
Everybody else was done with no gi, and we were still on our gi bracket.
Yeah. Matt and I were in the same bracket too. We both got eliminated right before we were gonna have to roll each other.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't want to cut it short, but it's 2:16 right now, sir. So
I need to go to the barber.
You need to go get a haircut,
dude. This hair is atrocious. The beard's going. It's going.
Yeah, so
I'm over it. It's nasty. But either way, let's wrap it up. I'm gonna leave all my stuff here, and I'll just clean it up after I go to the barber and whatnot. Because you and I are gonna do some more work. Yeah.
Right. We can do some more work. Well, I have to go get some groceries for the kids and all that. Motherfucker. By the time I come back, you'll be ready.
Have you even talked about the whole since you had the kids?
Oh, we haven't. We can say that for another episode.
Yeah, so
I want to.
We brought it up a little bit last time, but we didn't dive into it the adventures.
Yeah, I didn't get to put that episode out.
Fatherhood.
So I will talk about that.
That'll be the next one. We'll do that the next one. Talk about you being daddy, and then after that, we'll look at getting another guest on.
Matt, thank you. Hopefully, you can come back soon. I mean, I don't mind anytime you're here.
I feel like you're going to be a frequent guest,
because we have so much more to dive into. If it wasn't for my poor setup and his haircut, we'd probably dive into a little bit more.
Well, yeah, we would have a solid another 2 hours.
Out.
Yeah,
I was about to say, you guys. I'm totally down with that. If you guys want to record, for real, I'll roll out. You guys.
I don't know what he has to
recording.
do. He has to go to Menards. And stuff. So, but I really do want to have you back soon, because I think there's some more things I want to dive into, especially outside of MMA fighting. I want to dive into what's it like, being married. That's fresh, and this.
Why you want to know about being married, Keith?
Ooh.
Hey, I'm only I already have the kids. Might want to put a ring on it.
What?
No, I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you, Leslie. I'm sorry.
Damn.
I love her to death, but She knows her and I are not at that point for marriage. That's such a big step, but I do see us heading that way. But as of right now, I'm man, these kids are expensive. So,
What? Weddings are expensive.
yeah, weddings are expensive, and I just want to love her and like,
No kids, not getting married.
yeah,
Boom. Mic drop.
not yet, but yeah. All right, so
No,
we're
this
good.
was fun. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Matt.
Matt.
All right, guys.
Appreciate you, fam.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother.
All right, guys. Until next time.
All right, good luck, Zach. I should put this out before then. Bye.
Yeah, please put it out before then.